I guess the question lies in how long did it take him to call the cops? Did he call as soon as he got there? Was it something? Because if those things check off, then yeah, I could definitely believe that. He's just emotionless because he went to war, and I would be able to see a connection between him getting to the house and committing that crime and then calling the cops. Like, that would make a lot of sense. But hopefully they mention it, and I guess they will obviously say who it was. But one thing that they did do is they did kind of spoil a little bit, because right when they started to interrogate the husband, they wrote suspect number 1. So I don't think someone would waste their time writing suspect number 1 if there's only one, because that would be just a waste of letters at that point, waste of words plastered on a screen. So yeah, let's continue.
Scott Sunford was slowly going from a victim that has just lost his wife in a brutal manner to a potential suspect.
The timeline might be the key to solving the murder of a local art teacher.
They found her shot to death in her home on North St. Hilaire Road Sunday night. Deputies only went there after getting a call from her husband. He told them he was out of town, and he was worried after not hearing anything from her in more than a day.
How long have you two been married?
10 in November. Met in middle school, started dating in high school.
As part of his strategy, Detective Sam Perrault asks Scott to walk him through the timeline again to listen to any variations in his story.
You left Yakima about 08:30 on Saturday and drove down to the Tri-Cities. And you were there all day at the funeral with your family. Then you stayed at your dad's in Kennewick.
No, I actually stayed with a friend, but let's see.
What's the friend's name?
Oh, her name's Paige. She's a mutual friend.
And what time do you think you arrived at Paige's house?
I'd say 12:30-ish. She had already went and laid down, so I had to go wake her butt up.
Did Desiree know that you were going to Paige's?
I don't know, honestly.
It's not something you had discussed with her?
No. No, Paige would come stay with us. We'd stay with her.
Was it just a platonic friendship, or did you have
Well,
an actual relationship with Paige?
You know, I shouldn't go there because it's kind of rude, but, well, Des didn't want me to say anything to anybody, but at one point, her and Paige had a little thing going for a while there, a little experiment.
Okay, so it was,
So-
it was Desiree and Paige who had the sexual relationship?
Yeah.
But not you and Paige? Or sometimes,
We all did.
Sometimes you and Paige too?
Honestly, we all did.
Okay. Do have to kind of admit, this dude is really emotionless. Like, he is, and he even like chuckled when he mentioned like that little secret between his wife and the other person that he just mentioned, Paige. Like, he chuckled. So, and he is just, I don't know. I'm slowly starting to doubt him, but again, I guess it's still too early to tell. Yeah, he's way too lax. Yeah. Whatever you're into, hey. I think that's neither here nor there. What I can say is his reaction to it is, I don't know. It looked like it's. I feel like it was that of like a child when they kind of like say something to someone, like a secret, and then it's like they're kind of like thinking about it in their head, and they're like, oh, it's like I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird guy. Moving on.
The detectives have just found out that there was some kind of love triangle between Scott and Desiree Sunford and a 23-year-old Paige Blades, who they believe...
Yeah, it's like as if that were like a little child's secret. It's like, dude, you're a grown-ass man. What's wrong with you?
...was a mistress to Scott Sunford.
So it sounds like you and Desiree had a pretty open relationship.
Generally, no.
No?
Generally, no. Just with her.
Just with her. There was a special relationship with Paige.
Yeah.
So you don't think it would probably would not have bothered Desiree to know that you were going to stay with Paige?
No. And honestly, we didn't even do anything. I was out on the couch anyways, because...
So we can about wrap it up here. It's 03:32 hours on April 8th, 2013.
With no real evidence, the detectives decided to conclude the interview here. Scott Sunford is free to go home. It was now crucial for them to speak to Paige Blades and get her side of the story, as she was with Scott at the time the murder was believed to have occurred. Any information she has would be extremely useful in solving this case. In this police recording that you're about to hear, the detectives are asking Paige about her relationship with Sunford, as well as asking about what she was doing at the weekend. What they find strange is that her story matches perfectly with Scott's. Her word...
Did you guys think it? As soon as they said that they were going to interview Paige, it clicked right there. Ah, okay. Gotcha. The plot thickens. Like you said before, Mushroom. They were together. They planned it out. I mean, I'm predicting at this point, but I'm gonna throw that rock out there. They ended up hooking up. They wanted the wife out of the picture because they wanted to be together, and they committed the crime. And they murked the wife. And this little bit that he said right there kind of confirms it, because if their stories matched to the T, then obviously it was planned. I mean, come on. The only thing that matches to a T are scripts when they're handed to you, or when you write them or something like that. Like, that's, everyone follows a script. It's the whole point. What, like a case like this? But oh, you mean this case specifically, or you mean a case like this happened in your hometown? Because this is some thriller, like thriller movie kind of plot. So elaborate there, Mushroom. While I press play and we continue a little bit on with the... Yep. One of... Another person I follow on Twitter. On TikTok. Sorry. She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer in LA. She is... Oh, man. She's so awesome. Because she has like a very upstuck personality when she talks. But she's a full blown lawyer, like all around. So if she weren't to say anything, you wouldn't really think like she's a lawyer. You would kind of think that she's doing something else. And one of the things that she says on her TikTok is, she explains that a lot of the cases that we see, a lot of famous cases, or a lot of the ones that are not as famous but that people hear about, that's just like scratching the surface on just how evil and how like how many actual murders are committed in the U.S. that are not reported, that they go to like cases and they go to like trials and whatnot, and she says that it's like, again, like we hear about like all of these serial killers and whatnot, and she says that that's like that's the baby that's like baby things in comparison to what many other people have done, and it just has never been reported in news, or it just never took the cases never took interest with the public. But yeah, she does say that there's been some really fucked up shit happening all around. So yeah, it's crazy that. Oh, I'd have to find the equivalent of it on YouTube that could explain it. Is that the one? Is it the pizza bomber? Is that the one? Is that the one with the bank